Honestly, it's the fact that there are so many people out there that have been burdened by all of our environmental factors and are just so sick and are just searching for answers and not understanding where to go. I definitely somewhere along the lines after all of the COVID stuff started having some memory deficiencies. I
Mhm.
was like forgetting people's names. It made me want to be a recluse and not be social anymore. Like my neighbor, I would be like looking at my neighbor, I'm like, I know your name, but like, why is it not coming to me?
Oh gosh.
And that ultimately brought me to deeper healing and to Danielle and all of all of the wonderful people here and just getting to know them. And I said, I need to be a part of this.
Welcome to the Deeper Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Howley. This is for everyone who's been dismissed, misdiagnosed, or told to just live with it and refuse to accept that answer. You're going to hear amazing patient recovery stories, raw and real in their own words. People who found answers after everything had failed them. You're going to hear from medical experts we trust that are pioneering new approaches to healing the body because we deeply know we're designed to heal. Let's dig in. Hi, everybody. I'm
Hi.
here with someone that I love. This is Maggie. I remember the first time that my consciousness was elevated about who you were was during COVID. She had organized the parents group in South Carolina, United Parents of South Carolina. And her whole premise was, hey, parents, we need to be advocating for our children in the middle of this. Like what was going on with the schools, what was going on with just everything. And she took it all the way up the hill to literally the state hill.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, this mom's amazing. I need to get to know her. And so that was the beginning. That was
5 years ago.
but she is the president of the Deeper Healing Foundation and wanted to talk about that today. We actually had something really cool happen today, which was one of the thrift stores in our town in South Carolina. It's called God's Goods, and basically it's run by a bunch of retired volunteers. And everything that gets donated and sold gets given back to a nonprofit. So today they gave us a $5,000 check that was completely unexpected
And so generous.
and so generous. And they were so excited to learn about deeper
Mhm.
healing, what we're doing. And we don't do enough talking about the foundation. So tell me, Maggie, a little bit about what made you interested in being part of the foundation.
Honestly, it's the fact that there are so many people out there that have been burdened by all of our environmental factors and are just so sick and are just searching for answers and not understanding where to go. Me being one of those people, I definitely somewhere along the lines started having some memory deficiencies. I
Mhm.
was like forgetting people's names. It made me want to be a recluse and not be social anymore because it was embarrassing. Like my neighbor, I would be like looking at my neighbor, I'm like, I know your name, but like, why is it not coming to me?
Oh, gosh.
And that ultimately brought me to deeper healing and to Danielle and all of all of the wonderful people here and just getting to know them. And I said, I need to be a part of this. I mean, it was just like, there was no question. Like, I need to be a part of this. I need to pass it forward. And I went through my own treatments here. I had heavy metal overloads. And so I went through chelation with deeper healing and I'm so much better. My energy is back, all of the things.
And your husband is quite the
And
cleanser.
my husband does cleanses twice a month. I mean,
He's like, I feel amazing. I'm not going to stop.
he
There's a bunch of guys in here like that are just like, I feel so good when I'm cleansing. I'm just going to keep doing it.
yeah.
So one thing that I think we always talk about that is like near and dear to, to my heart is that, we have broken systems. And when I say that, people, some people talk about like the snacks that they offer in the hospitals or, the doctor's training that doesn't have nutrition or, we could pick a lot of different things to talk about.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I think about all the time is just the insurance model. Even back when the Clintons, I forget what years that was, but I was a lot younger and it was like, we have to fix healthcare. And that was literally decades ago. It's only gotten worse. And it was completely recognizably broken then. And one of the things that we've evolved into is premiums are high and everyone has a high deductible plan. So pretty much everything's out of pocket. And it's gotten to the point now where people are looking at their kids like, are you really sick? Do we
Yeah.
really got to go to the ER? And so that's one whole problem is people are paying almost a mortgage payment in their premiums and still not really getting a lot from that until they've hit their 10,000,
Right.
6,000, whatever. So it's pretty much all out of pocket. Then you get to a place like I want something different. I want a deeper healing. I want cash pay medical care. And some people just do that proactively, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that are coming here are desperate, broken. Literally, I'll give one example because it comes up a lot in the foundation is it's a family. They've had a big mold exposure. 3 people in their family is ill. They have to literally leave their home. They're living in an apartment and a hotel. They still have to make the mortgage payment. They still have to pay for the apartment. Then they have to start the remediation process, which can be tens of thousands of dollars and you need medical treatments for 3 people. They literally call in desperation. That is why we created the mold course because a lot of that
Yeah.
information was like it isn't even relating to the body per se. It's a whole lot of information. But then there's people that are like the firefighter. They come here, they're having extreme occupational exposures. They don't make a lot of money. They know they need cleansing and they're sick. And they're like, okay, double whammy. I can't work.
Right.
And I also need to get medical treatments. And what is completely heartbreaking is when someone finally find deeper healing, they know that it's what they need. And then they're like, I don't have any money to do this. So that is the purpose of the Deeper Healing Foundation. And you can talk about a little bit about that. The foundation is run by volunteers and they're all leaders in our community that donate their time and the process is that every person who applies they have to prove the need with a tax return and they get a phone call. So they actually get interviewed by one of the board members to make sure that they're eligible and it has to be prescribed. Like they're coming for medical treatments that have been recommended for them and there's a price tag to them. What is it like when you make those calls?
Like I told you today, like I definitely it's not one of those things where I see an application come through and I'm like, "Oh, I'll just pick up the phone and do this really quick." Like I definitely have to like set aside some time because everyone has a story.
They do. They do.
Like not to get emotional, but like the stories are just unbelievable.
It's
And
unbelievable.
they're sad and
They're tough.
they're tough to hear. And the foundation is just so important for these people because they've been through the conventional medical, they've gone through doctors and doctors and doctors, they've gone through prescriptions and they've gone through tests and they've gone through all of these things and nothing has touched the root cause of what's actually making them sick. And they come to deeper healing because they're just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And this incredible staff here, and Dr. B and Jules and everybody, I mean, they get to the root cause. They find that root cause, and these people are walking out of here 4, 6, 8 weeks later with a whole new life ahead of them.
Correct.
And we are able to provide that through the foundation for them. And it's just incredible. But I set aside at least 15, 20 minutes for each phone call
Yeah.
because, it's not just me looking through an application and being like, okay, you make this much money and here's the application and this is what you need. Okay, you're good or whatever. It's, what brought you here and, how are we going to be able to help you? And it's the background stories that keep the foundation alive and keep us wanting to fulfill the foundation with money so that we can provide it for these people who need it. So,
I'm a big
yeah.
manifester and manifesting a
Yes.
big $1 million bank account for the foundation so that when a veteran with environmental exposures comes in here or there's an
Yes.
entire firehouse that just had a major mold problem, they all need to detox. And I want to be able to like, hey guys, we got you.
Yeah.
Like that's my dream. My dream is that the fund is robust enough that if someone has proven the need, they are getting the life-saving treatments that they deserve and need. And there should be no reason why there are so many veteran suicides. There should be so many just firefighters that are in a moldy house. They should be able to come here and detox. No one's doing mold
Remediation.
remediation in the body, like we are. And it's tough. So I'm hoping just with this public podcast, if you're out there, there are millions of dollars going to nonprofits that are very frivolous. And I will not name names, but I can think of a bunch. And also 100% of the money in the foundation goes to people. All of the board member are volunteers and all of the funds, the tax deductible donations go to people who need it. And like, I swear it's a God thing because every time the fund has gotten down to dangerously low numbers, someone has come with a check. And I know that that's a God thing where it's like,
Yes.
okay, you're on a good path. I want to do a better job of fundraising for the foundation and having more available for more people. It's heartbreaking when someone really needs it and we don't have it. So luckily we've only gotten there once and we've been very fortunate.
we all can agree that everyone deserves medical care and that our insurance companies are not providing us what we need.
You know, it's funny. I never
Yeah,
even told you this. I used to work in my previous life. I worked for a one of the largest health insurance companies in the United States, and one of the things that I really saw firsthand is the actual model in the United States is to get as many premiums as possible, and then there's this 20-page disclosure
yeah,
statement that is literally like how we deny everything, and then there is the denial. It's not covered because of X, because you didn't do these three, because you didn't
yeah.
exhaust the 3 medications, because you didn't get this test, that test, whatever. Standard of care should be that you get what your doctor recommends fast,
Yeah.
not after you've failed all the things that he didn't want you to do anyway. And we've really lost our way with that. And I say all the time, and I'm going to keep clinging to what deeper healing does should be standard of care. Using light, using oxygen, looking for deficiencies, pulling out the things that are holding your health back, that are jacking up your mind with
Mhm.
neuroinflammation, depression, anxiety. We have an epidemic of sickness, and it can't all be that we're genetically defective. It just doesn't make sense. And we're not that different from our grandparents. So I'm really going off on a tangent, but
No, I mean,
the
it
biggest
needs to be
reason
said.
it's true. The biggest reason why people do not come to deeper healing is
Is
money.
is the cost.
That's always what it is. And you don't, I always say you don't have to wait until you're broken. Marty and I did that.
Yeah.
We were regular people. We went to the regular doctors, hospitals, and we did the holistic integrative, and we, spent a lot of money on things that didn't work. We were completely broken when we found what actually worked. And a lot of the people that we see here are doing the same. And what's sad to me is like, they're like, oh, I just spent 20 grand in Mexico on stem cell. I'm sicker than ever, and I'm like,
Mm.
that's the worst when you've done a lot and it's failed. So the two parts of this are, let's be really smart about our decisions. Let's shorten our runway. Let's get more deeper healings around the country so more people can clean up, detoxify, or put this equipment in your home. And let's raise money and let's help people. If you have the funds and you have extra, pay it forward by helping people get life-saving treatments that otherwise would not be able to afford it.
You're saving somebody's life, literally.
Literally saving people's
Literally,
life.
like, it doesn't matter how much you donate. Every single penny goes to somebody's treatment, and that person is praying and thanking you as well.
You have
Yeah.
no idea. You have no idea. One of the board members, he says all the time, Danielle, I'm involved in a lot of the nonprofits I'm involved with aren't doing half of the life-changing work that you guys are doing at Deeper Healing. So with that, I am manifesting it. I'm throwing it out in the world. And thank you, Maggie, for donating your time
Sure.
to this worthy cause, and the other board members as well. And if you have a heart for being a part of the Deeper Healing Foundation, we'd love to hear from you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope this episode inspired you. Here's how to go deeper. Visit deeperhealing.com to become a patient. Online, we have loads of courses and a free toxin quiz. Subscribe and please, please share this episode with someone who needs it. It's always that one-on-one support that really gets people to find deeper healing. Remember, this is educational content, not medical advice. The information shared here should be discussed with your own personal healthcare provider. If you're excited by listening to the medical experts or the personal recovery stories on here and you want to start your own deeper healing journey, go to deeperhealing.com and start your process.